What's up, Hoopers? Back again with another basketball review video. One I'm excited about. Christmas was a good Christmas for me this year, and here's why. We're about to get into the Nike Kobe 6 reverse Grinch. We're gonna say it, Nike can't say it, and we'll talk about that along with the shoe. Let's get into it. Alright, first 60 seconds for all of you who don't have attention span longer than a YouTube commercial break. Here comes a quick breakdown. Now, the Kobe 6 is a fantastic basketball shoe. Now, there are some pros and there are some cons. The pros outweigh the cons, but the cons are definitely something worth talking about. Now, the pros. The weight of this shoe is incredible, extremely lightweight, something that I didn't know about because this is my first Nike Kobe 6 that I've ever owned. I've had other Kobe's. The 6 I've never had only because the Italian camo and the Grinch are my two favorite colorways and the hardest ones to find. With that, because it's lightweight, there's a lot of breathability, so you're not going to run into too many issues of your foot overheating, being nasty, and sweating. The shoes breathe really well. The only cons that I've really noticed, the traction. Now, the traction design is really cool, but as far as functionality, if you're on a dustier court, you're gonna have a little trouble as far as sliding and having some sort of traction on the court. You're constantly going to be wiping the bottom of your shoes. But if the court is clean, the actual feel of the shoe is incredible. The cushioning is really nice, and with most Kobe's, you feel so low to the ground as far as your foot being low to the ground that you can react to different cuts and moves. The Kobe 6 does that as well. With the Zoom Air unit in the heel, there's a lot of cushion for a lot of basketball play. Now, for more B-roll footage and more information about the shoes, how it started, how we got here, and what these shoes mean to me, let's get into that. Now, the Nike Kobe 6, by most people's accounts, is one of the best performing Kobe's on the market. There's arguments between the 4, 5, and 6. Myself, I'm partial to the 7 and 8. I like the 9s as well. That's just me. The 4s are fantastic. The 5s are fantastic. But everyone has their preference for different reasons, right? Now, obviously, the 6 has become very popular because of the Grinch colorway. The Grinch colorway, which released on Christmas, I don't remember what year it was, but that colorway was such a popular colorway that the Kobe 6 almost in itself kind of took a life of its own, with the Grinch being kind of the one leading the charge, almost being the most iconic, if not the most iconic, Nike signature colorway of the entire Kobe Nike signature line. Now, we understand why it's an incredible looking shoe, and it's an incredibly difficult shoe to get. Not only is it an incredible difficult shoe to get, there's a lot of UAs or replicas that are out there. And I'm not knocking anybody who is willing to go play in a UA or go hoop in a rep. If they are holding up just as well, hey man, that's on you. Me, as far as performance goes, maybe I'd rock a UA, but I don't feel confident enough to actually hoop in a UA, because if something happens to me, I'm going to immediately blame the build of the shoe and not whatever happened on the court, which in reality doesn't make any sense, because who really knows the difference between this shoe and a UA shoe as far as performance? I'd have to have one. I don't think I'd probably do that, but anyway, past that, this shoe in particular, the reverse Grinch, was unveiled I think 2 years ago by Anthony Davis on an Instagram live video, and then we also saw pictures of him wearing it, I think on, I want to say not picture day, but like, what do they call it when, like, pretty much when all the teams are going in, it's media day. They had pictures of him wearing these on media day, and I remember the first time I saw these, my jaw dropped.
Pause, bro.
I was in complete shock and in sneaker love when I saw this sneaker. Now, there aren't a lot of shoes that have been released recently that make me go, I absolutely have to have that shoe when it releases. A lot of the shoes that have been releasing that at least have caught my attention are retros from things that I haven't had in the past. now I'm old enough or make enough money or have enough connections or know enough people to where I can get some of these shoes that I didn't have when I was younger. And it's an incredible feeling. But when something new releases, and there aren't a lot of new releases that I like, but when something new releases that grabs your attention and kind of gives you that feeling of when you first saw that first sneaker that you fell in love with and you were like, I absolutely have to have it. This sneaker was that sneaker for me. For over a year, I was waiting, researching, trying to find any site, any person, any publication that had a release date for this shoe, if there was even going to be a release date. And of course, there was. And when I found out that it was going to be a holiday release, I was worried. It makes a lot of sense because obviously the Kobe Grinch released on Christmas, so then the reverse will release around Christmas. But the concern of that is obviously with Christmas releases, most shoes are in limited availability, and with that, with how sneakers are going today, when things are in limited quantities, a lot of these shoes are getting backdoor. We're not going to see them as regular consumers, right? Especially if we're supposed to get them off the sneakers app, which I was fortunate enough to get. I got these off the sneakers app for retail. It took me 3 or 4 tries to get it. I actually had to go a half size up, which I think actually works in my favor. I was a little concerned about going a half size up in a basketball shoe. I have a couple PGs, I have a couple Kyries where I'm a half size up. They fit fine with those extra cushion socks. Some of the official NBA socks do really well with those shoes, but obviously with a basketball shoe, you want as close to true to size because of performance. But to my surprise, going to a 12 as opposed to 11.5 does give me a little bit more room and a little bit more comfort. I haven't really found any issues with performance with the shoes yet. I actually feel like they're a little bit more comfortable because I have a little bit more room. I haven't tried putting in any of the insoles outside of just the insoles that they come with, which have these incredible design, very similar to the Grinch. I want a shoe that molds to my foot. I've only worn these, I think, 2 or 3 times. I've really only played in them once. I hear after the 4th or 5th time, the fit is even better than it is the first time. And the fit is, I don't want to say it's strange, but it's a little different. Because of the snakeskin design and because it's raised and you have kind of like this hard plastic molded outer, it's going to take a minute for you to kind of get used to that as far as cuts left and right. But it's actually a really nice basketball shoe as far as performance for guards. It's a great guard shoe, lightweight, great cushioning, lots of, you know, kind of reaction to, man, I've lost my train of thought. This is a great shoe. I could talk a lot about the performance of the shoe, but honestly, that's what all the sites are for. I'm going to talk about what this shoe actually represents for me, because I think a lot of the times when people watch these sneaker reviews, they get a lot of people that just have shoe after shoe after shoe. And some of us, we may get caught up in just getting shoes to make content. But this shoe in particular, I was really, really, really happy when I got this shoe. I was in my kitchen, pitch black in my kitchen, swinging, trying to hit on this sneaker on Sneakers app, and after the 4th try, when I finally got it, I stood there, I looked up at the sneaker heavens, and I just whispered, thank you. Thank you, sneaker gods. Thank you to all of my angels out there for helping me land this shoe, because it gave that feeling when you wanted a shoe so bad. You saw it somewhere and you keep seeing it, and it's everywhere and you're thinking about it, and then it's finally getting around the day that it's going to release, and you're anticipating the release date, and you're wondering if you're going to be able to get one. And I know that they announced that they released more quantities of this shoe than they originally were going to, which shout out to Mrs. Vanessa Bryant. If that's the case, then thank you. I'm a recipient of that. But even with that, to have it to get that notification and then for that box to show up. When I got the box, I was actually going to wait until Christmas Day or Christmas Eve to actually open the box and look at them for the first time, because I just wanted that feeling of like Christmas morning, opening the shoes and really getting an opportunity to get that feeling back again. And if any of you ever have a shoe that's out there that you're just completely in love with, if you're able to get that shoe without having to overextend yourself, if you have the means and you have the connections and you have the ability to get it, do it. Because it's really hard for me to describe the feeling I got when I hit on these shoes, and the closest thing I can describe it to is waking up on Christmas morning and you open up that box under the tree and it's that gift that you wanted all year long, and it's finally right there in your hands. The Nike Kobe 6 Reverse is that gift for me, and this video is my gift to you. So to all of you watching, thank you for subscribing, thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, thank you for engaging, thank you for supporting. I hope you had an incredible holiday season. 2024, I'm looking to drop more content, probably more vlogs, less shoes and basketball, probably more equipment. But all of you have made this an incredible year for me. I could never have imagined getting this many supporters, meeting this many hoopers, and finding out so much about just basketball products in general. So for all of you who are watching, until next time, keep hooping. And wear your shoes. Like, if you get them, hoop in them. That's what these are for.